volume was off on the video, like on the screen.
I still don't hear Kansho though.
Right, because I saw when you were hovering over the screen, the volume was off.
Okay, we'll start again.
Houston, we have a problem. Namandam, 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 namandam. Namandam, namandam, namandam. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first service in March. I'll be talking about that a little bit later. But what we'd like to do first is begin with Sutra chanting, and we will chant Juseige, and we will share the words on the screen. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Gagon chosegan hishimu jodo shigan fumanzok seifu joshogak gaomunyoko Fui dai se shu, fu sai shobingu, セイフ上昇学がし成仏道妙正長実法苦境未消門セイフ上昇学利欲人少年上映主凡行しぐむ浄土一生天人し人力縁大公不正無才道少女三苦妙交際主役難回避知恵言滅死根門案閉塞小悪道通達全宗門高僧上満足異様の実法日月主樹期天候音符言一種解放像公正苦毒法上王大集中説法ししく供養一切物具足主徳本元年出上満得意三害用如仏無下地通達未不詳願学エリク投資最小尊志願役国家大戦王感動国書天人東鎮妙見ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブガンニシクドク平等聖祭道本大心往生安那南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏 Okay, next we'd like to recite the three treasures. And again, we'll put the words on the screen. The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Namanda. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. It's a beautiful day in March, and this is our first service in March. So, guess what I'm going to talk about? It's March. So, you're kind of like, okay, so what? But do you know what March is called in Japanese? It's really exciting. Sangatsu. And there's the kanji. San, you can tell, 1, 2, 3, right? And then gatsu is moon or month, right? So March in Japanese is, third month. Exciting, huh? Sangatsu, third month. We do that sometimes, right? Like when we write, today would be 3/7/21, right? So we know this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 using the numbers for the months. But in Japanese, it's just sangatsu. It's just third month, right? So that got me thinking, why don't I talk about some threes, maybe this month? So for the month of March, right, it's Ohigan in a few weeks. But I thought for the whole month of March, I'll use this number 3 to think about things to talk about. So what are some threes that I could talk about? The 3 Bs. Right? I've always kind of thought, should it be the letter B or BE? Right? And so you probably know what the 3 Bs are, but I've been talking about that a lot. So I don't think I'm going to do that today. Ooh, the 3 poisons. Right? There's another option for a set of 3 in Buddhism. How about another one? Oh, the 3 Dharma marks. I think I'm going to do this one later. Impermanence, interdependence, and suffering. Right? So this is a kind of an important Buddhist teaching. The 3 baskets, the Tripitaka. This is kind of interesting. It's called Tripitaka. Pitaka is basket, and then tree. It's Sanskrit. It's ancient. It goes back, what, over 2,000 years, 2,500 years. But tree, 3, like tricycle, right? 3 wheels, 3-wheeled vehicles, a tricycle. This is also Tripitaka, the 3 baskets, which is the Sutra basket, the collection of the Buddha's sermons, the Vinaya basket, that's the monastic rules, and then the Abhidharma basket, that's the kind of systematization of Buddha's teachings. So, we don't hear that one that much, but if you read books about Buddhism, you hear about the 3 baskets or the Tripitaka, the Sanzo. What's another one? Ooh, the 3 natures of Yoga Pachara. So every single thing has 3 natures. The imagined nature, which is kind of like the mistaken thing, that thinking things are real. The other dependent nature, realizing that nothing exists in and of itself. They exist in context of other things and in relationship to other things. And then the perfected nature, the consummate nature, the true nature of things, which is non-dual and empty. I don't know if I'm going to get to that one this time around. It's pretty hard, but it's pretty cool too. So anyway, so these are some threes that I could talk about. So today I thought, go back to the beginning. You might have noticed it might look kind of like I don't have my wagesa on, but I do, but it's a black one. See, I have the white, so it kind of matches right with my black fuho and white shirt. Then I got the black wagesa with the white sagari fuji. So this is the one that we wear in training when we're at Tokudo, to training to become a minister. So I thought, let's go back to the beginning, one of the basic concepts. And so I'll wear my really basic kind of training wagesa, the 3 treasures, right? We just recited it, but it's good to come back and review. So we just say, I say the three treasures, and we do it, right? I say my thing, and then we say our thing together, and then I say my thing at the end. But what's it talking about? Is it treasure, like pirate treasure, right? Or some treasure kind of thing, right? The Japanese character is takara, right? Which just literally means treasure. Or is it some kind of jewel? Or is it gems? Right? Sometimes you hear it called as the three jewels, right? And there's a book by Reverend Dr. Kenneth Tanaka, right, called Jewels, and I think it's referring to this, right? So another meaning for takara is jewels, or even gems, like gemstones, right? That's kind of what it's not jewels like jewelry. It's jewels in the sense of like gemstones. So sometimes the three treasures you'll hear referred to as the triple gem. I like to think of them as refuges. Now, the problem with the term refuges, the three refuges, is it looks like refugees, right? And so people see it and they think it's refugees, right? So maybe we could call it the triple refuge, right? And it's referring to, in Japanese, san kie mon. San, again, is three. Mon means passage, but kie, refuge. And so that's related to the expression namu kie. So sometimes you'll hear me say, namu kie butsu, namu kie ho, namu kie so. That's the Chinese, Japanese kind of expression. Namu is like namu amida butsu, take refuge in. Kie, that's namu is coming from Sanskrit, namas or namah, namo, right? That it's an Indian word that the Chinese heard and they assigned characters that sound like those. So namu is sounding out an Indian word, and we're still saying it thousands of years later. Kie is the translation. So kie means to go for refuge in Chinese. So namu kie is like saying it twice. Once with the Indian sound, once with the Chinese characters. And then namu kie. So there's a lot going on. Let's see. I want to share a picture if it'll come up. There we go. This is a picture from my office, and it's a scroll that's on my wall, right? And so this scroll has writing at the top, this kind of ancient Japanese writing at the top, and then this image here in the middle. So let's move up to the next one. This is what that image is. It's Buddha's footprint or footprints. So this is supposed to be where Buddha stepped, right? And so it's one way to represent Buddha, right? Normally we have a Buddha statue, but a long time ago, often they symbolized Buddha. And so in this case, it's Buddha's footprints. And it's kind of hard to see with a whole bunch of spokes in the middle. There's like a conch shell, treasure vase, right? So there's all this stuff on here. And then what I want to point to is this. This is at the heel, right? And so we see another Dharma wheel down here, but do you see the W? It looks like a W. This is an ancient symbol for the three treasures, the three refuges, right? The three jewels, the triple gem, the triple refuge. Right? And so it's really important concept. And I wanted to show you this here, this one way that is shown. This is actually the symbol for Ryukoku University. They use this symbol to represent Ryukoku, but it symbolizes the three jewels, the three treasures. The first one, Buddha. I take refuge in the Buddha. Right? So when we say I take refuge in the Buddha, what are we taking refuge in? Shakyamuni is one answer, right? Siddhartha Gautama, right? The historical Buddha, the person that lived 2,500 years ago. Now, you remember, we celebrated Nirvana Day in February, right? And so Nirvana Day is Buddha's memorial service, right? So Buddha passed away. So when we say, I take refuge in Buddha, if you're taking refuge in Shakyamuni Buddha in kind of the one sense, right? He's gone. So, Lotus Sutra talks about eternal Shakyamuni. That was just kind of a show for us, right? And actually, Shakyamuni is true reality itself. So maybe that's what we're taking refuge in when we take refuge in Buddha. There's also, it's important to know there's not just one Buddha, right? This is really important. Buddhism acknowledges multiple Buddhas. There are many Buddhas, especially Mahayana Buddhism. There's Vairochana Buddha, Medicine Buddha, on and on and on. Infinite Buddhas, immeasurable Buddhas. And then the Buddha for us, the most important Buddha for us, Amida Buddha, whose name is actually Namo Amida Butsu. I take refuge in Amida Buddha is Amida Buddha's name. But we can think about Amida Buddha, right? So when we say I take refuge in Buddha, it's complex, right? What are we taking refuge in? I like to think both Shakyamuni and Amida Buddha when we say that. The next one is Dharma. Dharma we often think of as the teachings, right? So if we think of Buddha as the teacher, the historical Buddha was the teacher, and the Dharma is his teachings, right? So this is Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Paths, Six Paramitas, Three Natures, on and on and on. It can also be the basic elements of reality, these kind of like atoms that Buddhists perceive, not so much atoms like protons, neutrons, electrons, like we think of with atoms and kind of like physics kind of sense. It's more psychological and the basic elements of our psychological experience. And this is what Abhidharma likes to talk about. But that one's hard, so we don't have to worry about that one so much. This is the other really important thing that I'd like us to know about the Dharma. It's the truth of Buddhism. Dharma is also the truth, the true reality. Right? Buddha and Dharma in that sense are similar. Buddha as the Dharmakaya, his Dharma body is true reality itself. And the Dharma here we can understand also as Buddhist truth. So if you had to memorize one, I would say memorize it as the teachings, but I hope we can know it as both the teachings and the truth itself. So then we come to Sangha. Traditionally, it was the monastic community. The monks and nuns were the Sangha, were understood as the Sangha. But for us in Jodo Shinshu, it's us, the community, the congregation, right? And so sometimes, we'll say congregation, knowing that that's maybe more of a Christian term, kind of a Western term, right? And so for people that don't know, I can say my congregation, right? The congregation of the Buddhist Church of Oakland, but I prefer to say the Sangha. Right? And I think people are getting to know what that means, even in America, so that we can say our Sangha, right? And so that could be the Buddhist Church of Oakland Sangha. It could be the Buddhist Churches of America Sangha, or it could be the entire Buddhist community. Right? And so these three kind of treasures, right? I've thought maybe we should talk more about the three refuges instead. But maybe treasure, right? Someone who thinks, ooh, that sounds great. I want to find this treasure. What is this treasure? When do I get money, right? When am I going to get paid? When am I going to get some windfall, right? Like the miracle water. I drank the miracle water and I've got $10,000 check in the mail, right? That's not the kind of treasure we're talking about. That kind of treasure is worldly treasure that disappears, right? And you hear about people who win the lottery, and so many people that win the lottery just end up miserable for whatever reason, because money doesn't solve problems, right? It just creates more. So the three treasures isn't that kind of treasure, right? The three treasures is something bigger, right? Something deeper, right? Something that can change your life, right? The Buddha, the teacher, the teachings, the truth that Buddha taught, so that we can go to the Buddha for refuge, realize, wow, Buddha has something special that maybe could change my life. And then what is it? It's these teachings, it's this truth that Buddha talks about. But do I have to do it alone? No, we have Sangha too, right? This third treasure, to have a community, to have other Buddhists to learn from, to hang out with, right? To eat together with. It's something that we're missing in a way, right? That face-to-face kind of companionship is hard to have during the pandemic. But when we get back together, right, maybe then we'll appreciate the Sangha even that much more. So thank you very much for this first Dharma Family Service Dharma talk in the third month about the three treasures. And I'll come back to some other groups of three in the coming weeks. But for now, why don't we conclude the Dharma talk with Gassho. In the midst of samsara and the difficulties of life, let us find something to take refuge in. Let us find this treasure, this triple gem of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Okay, thank you. I'd like to hand it over to Hondo for announcements.
Cool. Thank you, Sensei, for your Dharma message. Okay, hello, everyone. Yeah, just a few announcements here. So there's an upcoming Center for Buddhist Education online event. We have part 2 of the Zen and Shin Buddhism series. Part 2 is on the 13th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is titled Zen Practice, Timeless Calling, Timely Response, with a 10K Coppins Roshi Abbot, the Zen River Temple in the Netherlands, and also the author of a book by the same title. Part 1 was last week. That was with Duncan Riakin Williams. I believe you could catch it on the CVE YouTube channel, which the link's there below. Also, coming up on the 13th from 2 to 5 p.m. is the BDD STL and FD STL workshop titled Right Effort, Making Dharma School Classrooms Anti-Racist Environments with Zora Uyeda Hale and Kyo Matsuda. Also on the 27th this month from 11 a.m. to 12. I'm not sure why I said 12 p.m. I think that's a typo, but anyway. We have innovations and challenges with Bon Odori online, featuring short presentations by 5 BCA temples, followed by an open forum to exchange ideas. Definitely will be valuable to attend that, as we will, I'm sure, be online this year. Other upcoming events, there's the Ainu, Okinawa and Indigeneity series, excuse me, put on by the University of British Columbia. We can do March 15th at 12 p.m. It's titled Ainu, 150 Years of Resilience with Dr. Kaneko Uzawa. Also, later in the month on March 29th at 5 p.m., we have Rethinking Okinawan Indigeneity, Articulation and Activism by Dr. Megumi Chibana. Registration can be found at that link below. Sounds super interesting. It would be great to learn sort of more of the situation in Japan around indigenous people, something that admittedly I have a lot to learn about. Also, last weekend was the BCA National Council meeting closing program and the BCA Dharmathon, recognition of retiring ministers, and the Itaikyo service. Thank you to everyone who helped out. It was really a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and a special shout out to everyone at BCO who really helped make the program fantastic. And also, don't forget to watch the documentary about photojournalist Regina H. Boone's journey to uncover the truth about her grandfather, who was incarcerated during World War II and then disappeared afterward, never to make it back home. It's available to view for free on the NHK website until the end of this month. So yeah, make sure to check that out. It's really a powerful documentary. And it's free, so the link's there. What else? Oh, also, the March Shotsky service can be found on the BCO website as well as our YouTube channel. So look out for that too. And that's it from me. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and hope to see you soon.
Okay, next we'll have incense offering. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Okay. I'm heading back to my table. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm back. Ooh, I got echo. I'm going to leave this one. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And please visit our website and check out we have all those special events. So check them out if you have the opportunity. And we will be back next week. So I'm going to end the stream. Bye-bye, everyone on YouTube. Take care. Oh, let's close with Kansho, actually. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo.